But yeah, for business updates, just in the trenches, as they say.
What's new?
You,
What's new? Voice still coming?
so we're doing deployments, like we're actively doing deployments of voice, and we're doing a staged rollout, and we're wanting to kind of force people to meet with us so that way we can demo it to them, we can get their feedback, just like I did originally with you with the chat side of things. I want to be able to have that feedback loop so quickly so that way I can take that information, come up with ideas on how to make it better based on that feedback, and then quickly iterate and implement those items of feedback so that the next 5 people that we roll it out to are already seeing those updates. And then hopefully by the time that we roll it out to all of our customers, then the product is like really solidified and it's got some legs to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, doing that staged rollout, it's going to save you the customer service nightmare if everybody notices the same bug at once.
Exactly. And that's what we've been experiencing just ourselves testing it out.
Hmm.
And it's all these like little things, but like now that I've done this for a few years, like these little things are what could cause massive problems if they are scaled to hundreds, thousands of customers.
Yeah.
And that's where you get like leakage. That's where you get, the holes in your ship, and then the ship can sink.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, which is the other thing that we've been working on. So we finally found our leakage point with OpenAI. So last couple weeks ago, OpenAI had their dev day, and they had like this big presentation where they were like, "Oh, here's all the companies that have gone over
Trillion tokens.
1 trillion tokens, 100 billion tokens, 10 billion tokens." And I was
Nice.
looking, I was like, oh, that's odd. Like why isn't our name up there? But I realized that it was only the people that were actually at the event that their name was on there.
Hmm. Got it.
Because a couple days later, we got an email from OpenAI being like, "Congratulations, you guys have passed 10 billion tokens. Like, let us send you a plaque." So we're gonna get a plaque from OpenAI signifying that we've crossed 10 billion. And we were looking at our stats, and we've done almost over 25 billion. We did 4 billion last month alone.
Shit.
So the rate at which our people are using our platform is starting to scale and go up, which is really cool. But we finally figured out how and why we were not making like one-to-one money on our usage-based billing. We found out there's a small little bug, and we have resolved that bug. But we also realized that there's a better way to do chat based billing, which is usage based billing, which is instead of what it is right now, which is a static price per message. So if I charge you 1 cent per message, you go into the platform and you put in 2 cents, and then your customer gets charged 2 cents. Well, that 2 cent charge is across all sizes of messages. Whether someone asks the AI agent a yes or no question, is your logo blue? And the AI answers yes, that costs them 2 cents. If the customer goes in and asks, "Hey, can you write me a full blog post on why my logo is blue?" That also costs 2 cents, which makes no sense logically. So we're changing the way that we are doing usage based billing to a margin or a percentage base. So instead of a static price, instead of you putting in 2 cents, you put in a margin of 100%. And that then allows your customer to send all sizes of messages with all types of input and output data. And for 95% of messages, of all messages and all AI agents on the platform right now, 95% of messages will fall under the same cost ratio,
Got
because
it.
what we have established is 95% of messages will have 3,500 tokens of input and about 120 tokens of output for an average customer support message. So that's kind of like the benchmark, which again, 95% of people fall under. So the idea is we are going to go in and make this change. We are also going to go into your account, see what you have put in as the static price, convert that to a percentage margin, and then implement that percentage margin for you across all your models and all your subscription packages. So that way, when you wake up the morning after we implement this change, nothing has changed on your end because you're now charging the same amount or the same margin, and your customers are waking up the morning after being charged on average the same cost per message.
Yeah.
The only people that are going to get affected by this is people that are sending massive amounts of data, like an insane amount of data, which will cause them to spend a little bit more on that cost per message. And if they're sending a simple, query or a simple response, then they'll get charged less. But you as the agency know that you're always going to be making the same margin no matter what.
Right. And that's key for the agency anyways, is to maintain the same margin. Is this even something that you communicate to the end user? It sounds like technically significant on your side, but relatively invisible for the end user.
It should be. It should
Yeah.
be relatively invisible. We're trying to give agencies a heads up and give them, notifications. So we send out emails this week. I talked about it in our office hours. We've been helping people, help explain it to people in our support calls. So we're trying to do our best to, like, hey, this change is coming and here's how it affects you. Here's how it affects your customers. And our intention is that it doesn't make more work for you. We're trying to make your life easier. But I know just from experience now, like any form of change is going to make a few people not happy, or it's going to be a little bit of a rocky change because it is changing kind of the fundamentals of how chat-based billing works. But on the flip side of that, everything else that we're doing on the platform, including everything with voice, is already a margin and a percentage-based billing for usage.
Yeah.
So now everything is going to be the exact same in terms of how it works, which again should simplify everything for the agency, making it easier for them to create packages and sell it to customers, and yeah, and then hopefully that will then solve our issue with people sending large quantities of messages, but we're only charging them 1 cent when in reality it's charging us like 5 cents.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Just smoothing it out. Is it going to be a like a needle mover for you revenue wise, or it's just a couple outliers that are causing an issue?
It should be a revenue equalizer. Like, so right now we're losing a substantial amount of money per month with OpenAI because, for example, like we're getting charged 3 cents a message, but we're only charging the user 1 cent per message.
Yeah.
So ideally, it just evens the playing field out a little bit further to where we're no longer losing money. Like
Mhm.
we're back to breaking even.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Totally. That makes complete sense.
Yeah, and it's not like we're trying to, you know, charge a bunch of margin on top of OpenAI and like make a bunch of new money. It's just like we're just trying to not lose money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Like you said,
so
equalizer.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And
So
then you said voice is built the same way.
and then voice, yeah, exactly. Voice is built the same way. You'll set a percentage margin for what you want to charge for AI voice agents,
Hmm.
what you want to charge for phone numbers. Phone numbers are a little tricky because every country has a different cost for the phone number.
Right.
So we wanted to charge like a static amount, and we could do that for US and Canada, but we obviously have customers in many different countries around the world. So we wanted to be able to make sure that this was going to be working for them too. So same idea, like there's a slight margin that you can add to those things, and then finally is usage cost per minute. And at Rollout, we're sticking with 4.1, which is a more expensive model to use, but we will shortly roll out 4.1 mini and 4.1 nano and 5, which will all have different cost per minutes, going from roughly like 9 cents a minute to 20 cents a minute.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Which makes sense at scale. It doesn't make sense for your smaller customers. Like they're probably not going to notice a big difference. But yeah, as for the agencies scaling it out to several clients, it makes sense.
yeah. And then finally, concurrency, which is that other thing that we solved for, which is going to be a huge win for, I think, a lot of agencies, where they'll be able to sell this at scale to different types of customers without having to worry about concurrency across their account, or some businesses working, some businesses not working.
Like, yeah, well, that would be the biggest problem with white label, right? Is if you have 100 different customers, and it's not always like you have one customer with high usage, then your little mom and pop shop is the line's always going to be busy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that fix of call concurrency with included with the call queuing system that we built as
Hmm.
well, all of that combined should result in a product that agencies find to work really well for them, which is what
Yeah.
my goal has been for the whole year, basically.
Totally. Totally. Yeah.
And it just sucks because like I didn't realize when we started this and we were telling people like, oh yeah, we'll get this done relatively quickly because the core tech is pretty easy. But then coming across these problems after interviewing agencies and talking to customers, oh, this issue of concurrency, or this issue of scalability, or how do we deploy this at scale? These are all things that we had to figure out, which just took more time than I had expected. But the result of that is a product that is made specifically for our customer niche. And no one else is doing that out there in the market right now. Everybody else on the market for voice is hyper focused on the individual business. And then some agency is probably going in and just setting that up for the business, not having it be their own white label platform.
Exactly. Exactly. And that right there, I think, is your moat.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
really exciting. That's really, really exciting. I mean, I know so many people look into starting AI automation agencies or automation
yeah.
services, and you end up creating dozens of different accounts for dozens of different brands and like sharing credentials and having 2FA issues. And it's
Yep.
kind of it's an access nightmare to be able to navigate all these different platforms. So it makes sense to have it just baked into one.
Yep. Yeah. And then the agency controls everything on behalf of the client,
Hmm.
and you're good to go. And there's only
Yeah.
one support team that you need to talk to, which is us,
Yeah.
who actually will respond. When we were, I just the way I do it, kind of everything, like booking calls with all of the competitors out there that are doing voice, and getting on calls with their teams, and just kind of seeing, just investigating on the back end. And it's brutal out there for some of these companies. Some of them never even got on a call with us. Like, hey, we need help with your, we want to be an enterprise level client. Like, how do we sign up? How much is, and just nothing.
What? That's
Yeah.
shocking to me. I can't believe that.
Same. Same. Yeah. We
Why
were,
is that? Is it just because it's not scalable and they don't have their enterprise version built out, or are they just fake companies, or like
I,
who's
who
turning
knows?
down this money?
I have no idea. I have no idea, but um, that was a big surprise. Other companies were, quoting us 50 to 100K to get started. Um, it's crazy. Like I think the opportunity out there, even with all the competition that's already out there, like there's significant room to carve out our own little piece here, which I think is going to drastically increase our revenue, drastically increase our position in the market, and Yeah, and hopefully 2025 is going to be, or 2026 is going to be a pretty killer year.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it play out. I think the more people dive into all these AI solutions, the more that everybody arrives at the same conclusion, especially if you're the one building it, not necessarily using it. But like for anybody doing this at scale, they're all eventually going to figure out, for example, this concurrency issue with calls. And by the time they figure it out, now you are looking months into the future until you can build out and have a solution for it. And in that entire time, you're already building and scaling.
Exactly. Stripe just released their usage based billing module like this week.
Wow.
We built that two and a
That's like
half
two
years ago.
years behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Now, obviously they're much bigger, all the things,
Yeah,
right? But
there's more
like,
moving pieces, sure, but
sure.
still, that feels late to the game. That's actually surprising for the internet, like for the entrepreneur's preferred
Yeah.
payment method.
Yeah. The financial backer of the internet, uh,
Yeah, at least for SaaS.
for SaaS, like they just now released that. And that is something that we built 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, that's very surprising. Wow.
So the other thing I've realized too is it's not necessarily about like it's not connecting the AI model. It's not the actual tech itself. It's it's how you're implementing the tech for the actual business owner or for a business.
Yeah.
And if you make it easy enough for the person who's doing that to find success very quickly, then everyone involved in that circle becomes successful.
Mhm.
And so many platforms out there right now are overcomplicating things to the nth degree to meet all these random use cases when the feedback that we've gotten from actual business owners who we've deployed the voice agents to, the value that they find is within the most simple use cases or the most simple value adds to their business, which is not things that we had expected. Things like very similar to things from like the iPhone from a couple years ago, like visual voicemail, where the agent talks instead of it going to voicemail and the person just leaving a message, the agent talks to him, and then that transcription of that conversation shows up in the receptionist's email inbox, where then she can then go and do things. That is one of the like I never thought that that would be a value add, but that is something that has actually moved the needle for her and that business.
Yeah.
That's great. Like
Yeah.
that's something that we can now promote because we know that that is like a simple thing that people actually find useful.
Hmm.
So, so yeah, lots of stuff. We're hoping to get the usage based billing for chat out on Monday, and then it's full force on doing demos all next week, and then the goal is to get voice fully rolled out for all full SaaS mode customers by the end of the month,
Nice.
and just get people to start using it at scale.
That's awesome, man. I'm really, really excited. I'm excited to see it live. This has been in anticipation for so long.
I know, I know.
It'll feel good for you to get it off your plate.
Yeah, agreed. So, so yeah, so that's me. How's I mean, dude, the last thing that we talked about Bambi is you were about to do the convention.
I don't even know if I want to go down it.
Uh oh.
We'll keep this one focused on Stammer.
Really?
No, it's fine. All right. Well, I'll give you the rundown. Basically, our co-founder Tara, who's leading it, like ran into a couple personal problems right before,
Oh no.
and that with signage didn't come on time. You were doing this big product giveaway. The products didn't come on time.
Oh no.
So now we have like a stranger running the booth, like someone that Tara was acquainted with limited signage and no giveaway. And so much so is like not even a stand for the QR code to scan to download. It was like taped to the desk, like way down here. So I'm like, yeah, flopped. No, I know, not great, not great. But that's all right. We got the freemium version out on time, which is good. Our bugs are at an all-time low. Downloads are steady. and bugs being at an all-time low is huge. Like there's no tech issues because navigating all these like little intricacies of child sleep has been very difficult. But it's completely smoothed over. Tech is super stable. Yeah. So all of those things are very good. And now a couple hours ago, we just hired a full-time content creator, video editor, based out of Providence, France, which is pretty cool. So she's flying into Warsaw next month, and we're going to do like a big shoot with the kids just to build up some content. And in the meantime, she's also doing full-time editing for all of our stock videos. So like all the stuff that we've been editing and posting is, notoriously difficult to do when you have two kids at home. So we've got that full-time hire coming in, which would be good. I still think organic is the play. And then that plus we have creator marketplace rocking. So we have our creator collabs still going out on like a semi-regular basis every week, which is decent. Yeah, honestly, I'm at the point where I think the app is done. I don't think we need to keep building and building and building. There will be new versions. There will be a 3.0 and a 4.0, but I don't know that it's something that we need to be working on right now because no tech, no support tickets, no requests for new features. Like it's pretty much built out. There are obviously going to be these like little edge cases, but now it's just a scaling game, especially that we have the free version. So now I think we just need critical mass. We need some saturation. So yeah, that's the goal now.
Well, that's always the thing. It's like stop building, start marketing.
That's it. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, that, having no bugs is, I can't imagine what that life feels like. That sounds amazing.
We noticed there's one active bug, which is a loss of data bug, which sounds like a big deal, but we noticed that if the user opens the app, stops and saves asleep, and then closes it before they're connected to the internet or before uh, their user ID is associated with their Superbase ID, then it won't actually save the data. So this happened to me. I was in like a remote area, and when the baby woke up, I stopped and saved the nap, and it didn't actually save. So now we're
Mm,
just working on one thing where we have a local save, and then when you connect, it syncs. And then anyway, you're probably well aware of all these little things. Like I said, this is the series of me figuring out things that are obvious to other people, and I'm learning for the first time. But this is one of them: local save, and then sync it to the database.
yeah. Well, that I mean that is just a really good example of an edge case bug, and
It is, yeah. It
those are
is
the
edge
ones.
case, but I think more it's more people than you'd think that have like poor internet connection or poor connectivity.
Yeah, in the way I mean that though is like, oh, this one customer in Bulgaria is having this problem and this is why, but then that leads to the conclusion that, oh, people have poor internet connection, which means you need to solve it for that edge case, which is the poor internet connection. But it all started from some random, guy or woman
Yeah.
in the countryside somewhere that
Yeah.
is having those. Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, because it's frustrating when you release something and then somebody, and for you it'd be like, oh yeah, somebody's trying to use it on an iPhone 8, or something like.
There were a few
uh
of those too. It's like design changes. It's like, why is the Apple like off? I can't press it. I'm like,
yeah,
it's an iPhone 5S. That's
yeah.
why. That's why it's not working. So I know there's so many little edge cases like that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, but that's good. We're actually working on another app. I can't talk about it yet. It's a top secret project, but I want to tell you about it off camera because it's really fucking cool. Not in the
Okay,
current.
so
I'll
what
just drop
happened
the
to,
teaser until it launches mid-November.
okay. Okay, what happened to stop building, start marketing? Just
Oh no,
can't
dude,
stop.
this is a totally different project. The marketing now, we can work on that. But this is like I'm gonna stop building on Bambi. I mean that app is done. It's
Okay.
perfect. It's great. But this new thing, It's
Oh
kind of
God.
shiny object syndrome, but
I was
I
gonna
gotta.
say I'm seeing the shiny come off your shoulders right now.
Oh, I know, 100%. I know it's like number one rule. I shouldn't do it when I'm working on something else that's not, fully scaled out yet. But I think it's such a big opportunity, and it's a consumer app. It will be used by anyone and everyone. And the monetization is selling data back to large data partners like Meta, who we've already had a conversation with, and they're very interested in buying data. So this
Hmm.
could be cool.
Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So now we'll stop the recording and I can tell you
Yeah.
about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Actually, wait, hang on. Oh, no.